Today, let's create artwork based on artist Kara Walker. Kara Walker is an American artist. She is known for many things, but especially for her cutouts, many times portraying Black history and figures from slavery. So, this is an example of the project that we are going to be creating. Let's get into it. So, the first thing that I did was I started by observing and drawing an image of a basketball player. And we created this figure by taking our time. So I'm going to take my time when I create this basketball player and just draw it very carefully. And here I'm going to just draw it at regular speed so you can see just how carefully I'm drawing this figure. When creating this basketball player silhouette, you have to be very careful of all of the details of this person's body. So things like fingers have to be drawn very, very carefully, and other body features as well. So now that I've started drawing the first arm, I'm going to start drawing the second arm, and I'm also going to draw the rest of my basketball player's body as he's jumping up in the air about to do a layup. And now that I've drawn the basketball player's top part of his body, except for his second arm, I'm going to start drawing the legs. So I'm looking very carefully at my silhouette reference to get an idea of how to draw those legs and put his body in a motion like it's jumping up in the air. So I'm almost done drawing this player's body, but now I have to be careful and draw his legs and also draw his face. And even though you can't see his face, we want to make sure that you can still see the features of his face. Now we have most of the body completed. We have the two legs, and we are working on that second arm. Let's be very careful when we draw the second arm. Let's not forget about drawing that basketball, because then we need something to go into the hoop. Just a few final details, and I'm almost done. And so the next step is I'm going to cut this out. Okay, all of that hard work is just about done. Now I can start to cut it out. And we're going to speed this part up. We're going to just switch into time lapse so we can get through this part a little bit quicker. When cutting your figure out, you have to make sure that you cut it very, very carefully. And even though I'm zipping through this in time lapse, I want you to make sure that you take your time and you cut on all of the lines that you drew. And especially when you're cutting out small parts, you want to be careful. Oops, looks like I just lost a finger. Oh well. Well, now it's time for us to start the second player. So we're gonna draw the girl that he's playing against. We're gonna zip through this one also in time lapse. And let's be careful not to chop off any more fingers when we create the girl. We've cut both figures out. We're gonna start to create a place for these figures to play. We're gonna create a playground. And we're gonna look at a picture of a silhouette basketball playground and very carefully draw that picture. So you notice that I'm drawing this very slowly. So I'm going to switch back to regular speed just so that you can see how slowly and how carefully I'm drawing as I take my time and I draw the backboard, I draw the frame, I draw the net, I draw all of these different parts of a basketball court. Remember, when you're drawing the backboard, the basketball court, or any other part of this silhouette cutout art, you have to make sure that you take your time and you draw it very carefully. You also want to look at your reference image to help you. Just like drawing the players, it takes a while and it takes a lot of very careful time and effort to get your basketball court looking just right. Let's make a Carol Walker art. Now we're almost done drawing our basketball court, our backboard, and our net. And this is going to be tricky to cut out, but we can do it. So again, take your time and be very, very careful. Don't forget to add all of the final details to your basketball court, your backboard, and your net. This is going to make it look more like an actual basketball court that your players are playing. So now we're going to switch back to time lapse while we cut this backboard and basketball rim out, and we're going to take this and make sure that we get all of the different parts cut out. Cutting out the net is going to be a little tricky. It's hard to get inside there. So not only did I use a scissor, I had to use the pointed end of the scissor, and I also had to use the pencil to really get the small holes, to get the net and get all of the details of the net. So now that we cut out the backboard and we also cut out the rest of the basketball court using rulers and other things, we're going to arrange everything and lay it out on the page. And let's get started gluing this all down. So we want to make sure that we got everything lined up where we want it. And we're going to carefully glue it down. Boom. We're done. So now that we're done, and we know what to do, you guys ready to get started? Okay, let's jump in.